Hi, today we're taking a look at Calorie Compare. It's a great little app. I suggest that you download it. It's really going to help your diet out. When you load it up, you're going to see that you've got a few different options here. From the main screen here, we're going to take a look at the menus. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the menus. And let's say that I'm going to run over to Arby's and grab lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Arby's. Now it's going to bring up all the items that are on Arby's menu. And I can now go through this list and decide what I am going to have. So if I go down through here, and let's say that I'm going to have their classic Italian sub, I'll go ahead and tap on that, and then that'll bring up all the information on that item. Gives me the calories, the total fat. So all of the information is presented right here for me, so I can make an educated choice on what I'm going to be eating. Now, if I know that this is one of my favorites, I like to eat that a lot, all I need to do is tap on Add, and what that will do is that will add that to my favorites. So I can very quickly get to that in the future. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go back once more. And I'm going to get all the way back to the main screen. Now, the other thing that I can do here is that I can go in and compare items. So if I go to compare, this is going to allow me to choose between two different restaurants. Now when you come in here, if you notice up on top we have the first 4 restaurants, and then those are repeated down on the bottom. And if I start scrolling through these, you'll notice that they scroll through separately, and that's so that we can do the comparison. So if I want to take a look at up on top here, I'm going to say that one option that I have for lunch is Applebee's. And I can take a look at their different options here, and I'm going to choose their cheeseburger. When I do that, very similar to the other screen, you're going to see the information on their cheeseburger listed there. Now, if my other option is Burger King, I'm going to go ahead and tap on Burger King, and I can go through their information here, and let's say that for Burger King, I'm going to go ahead and choose their cheeseburger. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking at a direct comparison between Applebee's cheeseburger and the cheeseburger at Burger King, and I can see where you're sitting at as far as calories. So a Burger King cheeseburger is only going to be 300 calories versus a cheeseburger sitting over at Applebee's for 940, and you can see that direct comparison there. So then I'm going to go ahead and go back. It takes me back to the comparison, and I'm going to come back to the main screen. And if I go to my favorites, I just want to show you that that item that I selected over at Arby's, that classic Italian sub, is also going to be listed here. So I can see that on my favorites. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap on Settings. And there's a few things that we want to look at in the settings. Now, I've already upgraded. If you hadn't upgraded, you could go ahead and upgrade in here. So you'd also see that on the options. Since this has already been upgraded, you don't see that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the daily values. Now what we're going to see on the daily values is where you can actually plug in all of the daily values that you want to have within your diet. So you can set the calories, the fat, everything that you want to log is going to be in here on this list. So you can go ahead and set the numbers that you want so that this is customized for you. Now these are already all set up at the default values, but if you got playing with these and you realized you wanted to go back to the default, all you need to do is click on the default all up on top, and it would set that back. Now let's go back to the settings. Now the other thing that you can do is customize your restaurants. So I'm going to take a look at customizing the restaurants, and what you do on the customized restaurants is decide which restaurants, what location that you go to. And then what you'll do is you'll choose those that you can set which ones need to be there. So if you're not going to go to A&W, you can go ahead and remove that check mark. Then that won't be on the list. Then I can go down through this entire list. You'll see it's a very extensive list. And you can choose which restaurants you're going to go to, which ones you're going to eat at. And you can either check or uncheck those to make sure that it's so that list is matching for you. And then once you have that list set up for the restaurants that you're going to go to, you just need to go back to the previous menu, and then I'm going to go back to the main screen.